In 2022, researchers at Cortical Labs took a cluster of 800,000 living human brain cells hooked up to a silicon chip and watched as the cells learned to play the arcade game Pong. This is biocomputing, the physical fusion of living biological tissue with synthetic computer chips. It sounds like science fiction, with private sector in this level of growth. To understand that claim, we have to look at the heart of the AI economy. Every major model today runs on semiconductors, housed in massive data centers filled with thousands of server racks. For decades, the industry followed Moore's law. Intel co-founder Gordon Moore observed that we could reliably double the number of transistors on a chip every 2 years by making them smaller and smaller. But the steady march of progress is hitting a physical limit. Today, layers of material on a silicon chip are only 1 atom thick. At that scale, you physically cannot go any thinner. Then there is the energy crisis. A modern supercomputer can consume up to 40 megawatts of power to function. The human brain performs similar tasks using just 20 watts, roughly the energy needed for a single LED light bulb. By 2034, global data centers are projected to consume 1,580 terawatt-hours yearly, nearly the electricity used by all of India. Silicon has hit a wall. Without a different physical architecture to process information, the AI revolution will eventually run out of power and physical space. The first prototypes of biocomputers, like the DishBrain unit, aim to bypass these limits by using biological cells as the primary processors. Traditional chips process data in a sequential, linear path using rigid on-off switches. In contrast, the human brain operates as a dynamic, intertwined lattice. As it learns, the brain physically changes its own structure, breaking old connections and growing new pathways to navigate efficiently. This adaptability is an evolutionary necessity. Biological systems had to learn to process information quickly and with very little energy, or they would die. But how do you program a cluster of cells? You can't write code for a neuron, and there is no specific gene that tells a brain cell how to play a video game. Researchers rely on a theory called the free energy principle. It suggests that biological systems are naturally driven to minimize surprise and unpredictability in their world to ensure their survival. This chart shows the incentives used in the Pong experiment. When the cells miss the ball, researchers hit them with chaotic, erratic electrical impulses. When they hit it, they received a predictable, rhythmic signal. To minimize the surprise of the chaos, the neurons change their behavior to hit the ball more often. However, merging biology with machines creates massive engineering problems. Computer chips generate so much heat that they would cook the biological material. These processors also require life support. The cells must be fed, cleaned, and kept at a precise temperature just to keep the computer running. While biocomputing offers a massive advantage in energy efficiency, sustaining the life of the processor requires a manufacturing process that has never existed before. While tech companies look for a competitive edge, the field of biomedicine is finding immediate uses for this technology. Biocomputing is already allowing researchers to move away from animal testing and study human brain cells directly. Scientists are using brain organoids to model dementia. By training a healthy cluster of cells and then observing how it begins forgetting those tasks in a diseased state, they can track the exact mechanics of neural decay. The stakes are enormous. Over 1/3 of the human population will suffer from a neurological condition. Finding cures for Alzheimer's or Parkinson's would save millions of lives and save billions in healthcare costs. But as we build more complex biological systems, we face a profound ethical dilemma. If a living computer can learn and adapt, we have to ask if it can also experience suffering or self-awareness. These questions aren't just academic. If these organoids are conscious in even the simplest sense, we must decide if we have the right to stop feeding them or to unplug the system. The semiconductor industry spent 50 years mastering silicon. Biocomputing is at day one. Whether it provides a cure for dementia or powers the next iteration of AI, the future of hardware appears to be alive.